Your smartphone knows everything about you: your location, your conversations, your photos, even your most private messages. But who else might be listening? In the shadows of our digital world lurks a surveillance tool so powerful, so invisible, that it can transform your personal device into the perfect spy. All without you ever knowing it happened. Welcome back to Tech Sky. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on Pegasus Spyware, the digital panopticon that's changed the face of surveillance forever. But before we begin, I need to make something absolutely clear. Everything demonstrated today is purely for educational purposes. Our goal is to understand this threat so we can better protect ourselves and recognize the importance of digital security in our increasingly connected world. Today's video will be extensive and packed with valuable information. We'll cover everything from Pegasus's origins and capabilities to real-world cases and protection strategies. And what is Pegasus? Pegasus is a highly advanced spyware developed by the Israeli cyber intelligence firm NSO Group. First discovered in 2016, it was designed as a surveillance tool supposedly for governments to track terrorists and criminals. What sets Pegasus apart from ordinary malware is its extraordinary sophistication and near-perfect execution. While typical malware might slow your device or display obvious signs of infection, Pegasus operates with such stealth that victims have no idea their devices have been compromised. The name Pegasus is fitting. In Greek mythology, Pegasus was an immortal winged horse, symbolizing how this spyware can fly between devices undetected and maintain persistent access. Unlike conventional hacking tools that require some user interaction, Pegasus can infect devices through zero-click exploits, meaning you don't need to click a malicious link or download a suspicious file. Simply receiving a message or call can be enough. Perhaps most concerning is its ability to exploit previously unknown vulnerabilities, what security experts call zero-day vulnerabilities, in operating systems and apps before developers even know these flaws exist. Technical capabilities 02-0330. Once Pegasus infiltrates a device, its capabilities are nothing short of extraordinary. Let's break down what this spyware can actually do. First, it gains complete access to all messaging systems, not just SMS, but encrypted platforms like WhatsApp, Signal, and Telegram. This includes the ability to read messages, view photos, and access file transfers. It can activate your device's microphone and camera remotely, essentially turning your smartphone into a surveillance device that records conversations happening in your vicinity. Pegasus can track your real-time location with precision, accessing GPS data and monitoring your movements continuously. It can harvest your passwords, authentication credentials, and sensitive documents, essentially holding the keys to your digital identity. Perhaps most impressively, it can access data from apps that are typically considered secure, bypassing encryption measures that are supposed to protect your information. The spyware is modular in design, meaning operators can deploy specific capabilities as needed, activating different surveillance functions depending on their objectives. And here's what makes Pegasus particularly dangerous. It's designed to be undetectable by conventional security tools. It uses sophisticated obfuscation techniques, minimal bandwidth, and advanced encryption to hide its presence and communications. And infection vectors, 0330-0430. How does Pegasus actually get onto your device? The infection methods have evolved over time, becoming increasingly sophisticated. Early versions used spear phishing techniques, sending targeted messages containing malicious links that, when clicked, would download and install the spyware. The next evolution was zero-click attacks, which require no user interaction whatsoever. These might exploit vulnerabilities in apps like WhatsApp or iMessage, where simply receiving, not even opening, a message could trigger the infection. Another method involves network injection, where the attackers intercept your connection to a legitimate website and redirect you to a server that installs the spyware. In 2021, researchers discovered forced entry, an exploit that could compromise an iOS device through a malformed PDF file, bypassing Apple's Blast Door security system. What makes these infection methods particularly insidious is their invisibility. In most cases, users have no idea they've been targeted, with the spyware activating in the background without any noticeable changes to device performance. and real-world cases and impact. 0430-0600. Pegasus isn't just a theoretical threat. It has been used in numerous documented cases around the world with serious real-world consequences. In 2018, Pegasus was implicated in the targeting of Jamal Khashoggi, the Saudi journalist who was later murdered. Forensic analysis suggested associates of Khashoggi were targeted, potentially to monitor his activities. In 2019, WhatsApp revealed that approximately 1,400 users across 20 countries had been targeted through a vulnerability in their app, with many of the targets being human rights defenders and journalists. The 2021 Pegasus Project investigation by Forbidden Stories, Amnesty International, and 17 media organizations revealed a list of over 50,000 phone numbers that may have been targeted. This included 189 journalists, 85 human rights activists, business executives, religious figures, academics, and even heads of state. In India, Mexico, Hungary, and numerous other countries, opposition politicians and journalists investigating corruption have found themselves targeted, raising serious concerns about press freedom and democratic processes. The human impact has been severe. Journalists have been forced to abandon stories for fear of exposing sources. Activists have had to completely change how they operate. Some targets have faced arrest, harassment, or worse after their private communications were exposed. This raises profound questions about the balance between national security and individual privacy rights. When tools designed to catch terrorists and criminals are instead used against journalists, activists, and opposition figures, the line between security and oppression becomes dangerously blurred. Detection and defense, 060730. Given Pegasus's sophisticated nature, detecting and defending against it is extremely challenging, but not impossible. Detection typically requires specialized forensic tools. Organizations like Amnesty International have developed the Mobile Verification Toolkit, MVT, which can analyze device backups for indicators of compromise. There are several warning signs that might indicate Pegasus infection. Your battery might drain inexplicably fast as the spyware works in the background, constantly transmitting data. Your device might heat up unexpectedly when you're not using demanding apps. Unfamiliar background processes might appear briefly before disappearing. Your network traffic patterns might show anomalies during periods when you're not actively using your device. You might notice unexpected data usage that doesn't align with your normal app activities. However, these symptoms could also be caused by legitimate apps or normal device aging, making definitive detection difficult without technical forensic analysis. For defense, you can implement several protective measures. Regularly updating your device ensures you have the latest security patches that may block known vulnerabilities. Restarting your device daily can temporarily disrupt some spyware operations, as certain variants of malware require persistence. Using strong biometric or passcode protection prevents physical access to your device. Enabling two-factor authentication adds an additional layer of security for your accounts. Approaching links with caution, even from trusted contacts whose accounts might be compromised, can prevent phishing attacks. Using a secondary device for sensitive communications creates isolation between your daily activities and your most sensitive work. For individuals at particularly high risk, specialized security-focused devices like Librem or Graphene OS phones offer enhanced protection against sophisticated threats. Remember though, against a nation-state level attacker with tools like Pegasus, even these measures may not be foolproof. The reality is that commercial spyware has created a fundamentally uneven playing field between individuals and well-resourced attackers. Ethical and legal considerations, 0730 to 0830. The existence of tools like Pegasus tears open a Pandora's box of ethical and legal questions that our digital society is struggling to address. NSO Group maintains a carefully crafted narrative that Pegasus is only sold to verified government agencies for legitimate law enforcement and anti-terrorism purposes. Yet time and again, investigations have uncovered its digital fingerprints on the devices of journalists uncovering corruption, activists fighting for human rights, and political dissidents challenging authoritarian regimes. This forces us to confront uncomfortable questions about the modern surveillance industry. In a world where private companies can develop digital skeleton keys that unlock our most intimate spaces, who truly holds them accountable? When the line between national security and political control blurs, who defines where legitimate surveillance ends and oppression begins? The legal system has begun to respond. Apple declared war on NSO Group in 2021, filing a lawsuit seeking to permanently ban the company from using any Apple products or services. WhatsApp and its parent company Meta launched similar legal offensives after discovering Pegasus exploited their platforms to reach targets. The U.S. Commerce Department struck perhaps the most significant blow in November 2021, adding NSO Group to its entity list, essentially a commercial blacklist that restricts the company from accessing U.S. technology, potentially crippling its ability to operate effectively. At the international level, the United Nations hasn't minced words, calling for an immediate moratorium on the sale and transfer of surveillance technology until regulatory frameworks can be established that ensure human rights protections. Yet despite these mounting pressures, the commercial spyware industry operates like a hydra. Cut off one head and two more appear in its place. As restrictions tighten around known players, new companies with different names but similar capabilities emerge from the digital shadows. Conclusion 083009 Surah. Pegasus represents the double-edged nature of advanced technology. The same technical innovations that allow us to secure our communications and protect sensitive information can be weaponized to bypass these very protections. Understanding tools like Pegasus isn't about inducing fear, but about promoting awareness. In our increasingly digital world, knowledge about these threats is the first step toward meaningful protection. If you found this information valuable for your security journey, hit that like button, subscribe, and enable notifications to stay updated with the latest security insights. Remember, digital security isn't just a technical concern. It's fundamentally about protecting human rights, privacy, and freedom of expression in the digital age. Until next time, stay aware, stay protected, and keep learning. This is Tech Sky, signing off.